Hello and welcome to Jeff's Pianist Academy. Sometimes we have big plans but not enough time. And it's so typical for us to think that either we put in hours of practice or we don't even start. Today I would like to show you that even 10 minutes can make a huge difference. And to make it more practical, I'll end this video with a little experiment. So let's start. First of all, we need to set a right goal and we need to stay realistic. Because if your piece is 30 minutes long, you obviously won't be able to play through it 10 minutes. But maybe there is a tricky passage you want to work on. Second step is to identify the problem. Why isn't the passage working? Is this a fingering? Are there too many later lines causing you to hesitate each time you see the notes? Or maybe the left hand is causing you troubles. Or it's difficult to coordinate both hands. I understand that taking some minutes to identify the problem might seem at a delay, but without finding the problem, it's nearby impossible to find a solution. And now the practice itself. Depending on what the issue is, you will now start working on it. The key is to find the tempo where you are not too stressed, but also not too comfortable. If the tempo is too slow, your mind may wander. Now to our experiment. Right now I'm preparing a video on genre of ballad and I'm reviewing various compositions to find good musical examples for you. So one of these examples will be Grieg's ballad, and I've never played this piece before, and some of the parts can be sight read, but some require some focused practice. So I thought maybe this will be a good example for practice. So believe me, I've never played this piece before, and I will not be able to play it allegro capriccioso in just 10 minutes, but it's a good example for you to show how this method works. And I forgot to say you that when you set a goal, it's important to be exact. So you have to know which measures you will be working on, how long is this passage, and maybe even say I will be working from measure 18 to measure 24. So it helps your brain to be more exact and focus on your goal. My goal will be to play next 8 bars in tempo andante moderato, because allegro capriccioso is not realistic in this time. I want to pay attention to all the phrasings and dynamics, and this way the section may be slower but will still capture the character of the piece. Now we have to identify the problem. So I estimate that the section is not particularly difficult, especially when compared to the next phrase. It's here. I initially thought about working on this passage, but it would be a bit out of the context. If I get the first 8 bars of Allegro Capriccioso under control, I will be able to tackle the next section with more ease. So here the challenge could be the 2 voice texture in the right hand. When you see, we have this chromatic descending line. And the D. So finding an effective fingering will be essential. And the left hand plays the same material twice, once in a treble clef and the other one in the bass clef. So it shouldn't be too difficult and it saves time, as you see. So the practice itself will be, I'll start by finding the best fingering, practicing the left hand alone, and then combining both hands in a slower tempo. I might even be practicing with the metronome. Now I will set my alarm clock for 10 minutes. this was actually easier than I thought. I told you I've never played this piece, so sometimes it's difficult to judge. And from my experience now, the left hand was more difficult for me than the right hand because of the position. It was not so comfortable. And I think I will manage to play this passage faster than Andante. So in Andante tempo, I feel comfortable, but the next step would be to learn the next passage and then to play the whole section in the same tempo. I hope you found this video interesting and you can apply some tips of this video to your own practice. Good luck with this. And by the way, if you haven't watched our video on concentration yet, I will link it somewhere up here. Please watch it. It's very helpful, and in combination of this video, it will help you to achieve even better practice. So thank you and see you next time.